I would like to introduce the CompCalc Plus, making the complex simple. The CompCalc Plus is currently available on the iPhone, iPad, as well as Android devices, including smartphones and tablets. Once installed, the user of the CompCalc Plus will no longer need an internet connection, and yet will have full access to a PD rating manual, as well as indemnity calculator for all dates of injury, all species of benefits. Additional tools and features are also part of the CompCalc Plus, relevant to the practice of California workers' compensation law. Throughout the development of the CompCalc Plus, the primary focus has been on making it so easy to use, so simple, and yet so intuitive that the user would never feel the need for formal instruction or training. The focus of this video will be on the CompCalc rating module. I'll be using an iPhone 6 for this demonstration, although the viewer of this video should realize that whether you're using an iPhone, an iPad, or an Android device, including tablets, the basic features and functions are essentially the same. Okay, let's get started. You'll see that I'm at the desktop on my iPhone 6 Plus. You'll see the icon for the CompCalc. I'm going to go ahead and tap on that in the upper left-hand corner. And this is the opening screen. It says CompCalc Plus 2015 CV. That's the conference version. Takes us into the PD rating module. But if you look across the bottom, you'll see that it has a permanent disability module, temporary disability, life pension, as well as more. Let's go into that real quick. The PD, again, it's just a roller dial. Put in the date of injury. It's going to tell you what the indemnity is. If the average weekly wage is different than max, it assumes max, you can put that in and automatically calculate it for you. It has a roller ball for 2005 because it's applicable to adjust up or down 15%. Of course, it goes away in 2014, actually 2013 as well. 2006 through 12, of course, we have a 15% up or down because Labor Code Section 4658D applies. Temporary disability. What's neat about the temporary disability is it not only provides you with the TD max and mins, as well as the average weekly wage and SAW calculation, but it also, I've already put the 2016 figures in there, but it has a date calculator. So if you want to know the total indemnity, given an average weekly wage, given a period of time that you dial up, it will calculate that for you as well. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on these modules. You can go through them. It has a life pension. If you hit more, you can see it has modules for life expectancy, job displacement, death benefits, date calculator, QME codes, as well as body codes. We're always looking for those, right? Configuration, that allows you to change the look and feel as far as colors and textures. Support and training. I'm going to tap on that just to show you something that's new. I put in here because I was getting a lot of phone calls with questions that I thought could be answered if somebody spent 5 or 10 minutes on a video. I've put in YouTube videos. If you tap on basic features and functions or instructional rating tutorial, you'll be able to watch these videos on YouTube. And of course, you're allowed to write a review as long as it's good. Let's go back. We're going to go back to the PD rating module, and let's go ahead and start with the PD rating. First thing I want you to note is that the rating string at the bottom reads body, whole person, impairment, DFEC, occupation, age. Those will be filled in as we input the different fields. There's also adjusted PD and amount of PD. The adjusted PD will be the percentage. The amount will be in terms of dollars given the inputted average weekly wage. It will assume max if no average weekly wage is inputted and given the date of injury. You'll also see that there's a whisk broom. That's the zero out or clear all fields. And there's also an export feature. That's the up arrow box in the upper right-hand side of the display. That allows you to save or store to the device, as well as export or print, export to an email or print to a printer. You'll also see in the upper right-hand corner a plus symbol. That allows you to add an additional rating string. Of course, if you do that, the adjusted PD field at the bottom, that caption will change to combined value, evidencing that the combined value equation has automatically been applied to your rating string. There's also a scratch pad. The scratch pad is the reverse of the plus. It actually allows you to take a particular rating string and delete it from the equation or from the rating. Okay, let's get started with our first rating. First rating is Mr. Albert Anderson. Mr. Anderson was born 1/26/1970. His date of injury was July 22nd, 2006. The injury is to his back and right upper extremity. He was a crane operator. The QME has given him a back rating of a DRE3, 13% standard. The right upper extremity, the diagnosis was right arm, peripheral neuropathy, CARPS 1, and he's assigned a 5% whole person impairment. Okay, in my hypothetical, the applicant's date of birth is 1/26/1970. So we're going to double click on the date of birth, and I'm going to roll up that date. I'm going to input that, 1970. It's the 26th of January. I can either hit OK or I can just tap twice that field and it automatically inputs the date of birth. Next we have the date of injury. The date of injury I indicated was 2006 and it is July 22nd, 2006. So I double click on that. Now I've inputted that. Whole person impairment. We're doing the back first, and I indicated that it was a DRE3, 13% standard. And now we're going to do the part of body. Now to input the part of body, I'm going to tap on that field, but you can see that it flips to general as well as detail. We first have to input the general part of body, and of course this is a spine, and then the detailed part of body. Now there's a couple things we can do here. We can type in, we know it's a low back, so what about lumbar? What are our options? Well, I typed in the first letters of lumbar. It does a search for me and it brings up lumbar DRE is the first option. I'm going to double click on that and now I've just inputted that. If on the other hand I had just gone, I could have rolled to it and located it and double clicked on it and put that in there. Now I'm going to go back to occupation and I'm ready to input the occupation. So I'm going to tap on the field next to the word occupation, tap to select, and here you can see there's a number of ways to get into this, the occupational industries and the schedule of occupations. If you tap on occupational industries, you can select an occupational industry if you know what it is, or you can go ahead and tap on all industries. And we talked about a crane operator. At the top, well, first of all, it's all alphabetized. So we could go down, or we could go into the input field and type in crane, and up pops crane operator. Another way to do this is to go back to the occupational industries. I just tapped on that. It says tap for schedule of occupations, and we could go through these, or we could type in crane operator, and it brings up heavy equipment. In either case, it inputs the proper occupational group. Now we're back to the main, and of course one of the things that we have to include is on the main menu is the apportionment. Now I told you on the back it was 75% industrial. So we're going to go ahead and double click on 75% industrial. The last thing I want to do, and you can see our rating string's done, we've got the adjusted PD and the amount of PD given the date of injury, but this poor guy only makes $300 a week. So you're going to see that his PD rate goes down to 200. Instead of saying PD rate maximum as a caption, it'll just say PD rate, and it'll also modify the output given a 14%. And there we have it. Okay, we have a second rating string to do. So for that second rating string, which is the upper extremity, we start by tapping on the plus symbol in the upper right-hand corner, and watch what happens to our rating string. It duplicates the rating string because some of the information we're not going to change. Part of it we are. We're going to start out with the whole person impairment. We're going to tap on that, and we're going to change it to 5% because in my hypothetical, it was a peripheral neuropathy, CARP 1, 5%. The second thing we're going to do is change the part of body. So we tap on that, and of course it's an upper extremity. So we're going to tap on upper extremity. And what's the diagnosis? It's peripheral neuropathy, CARP 1. We're going to tap on that under the detailed part of body. What about apportionment? There is no apportionment on the upper extremity, so we 100% industrial, so we tap on that. Is there anything else that we need to change in this scenario? No, there isn't. So now you can see that at the bottom it says combined value 20%. We're going to modify the average weekly wage. That has to be remodified. And now we have the actual residual disability. Given a $300 per week average weekly wage for $200 PD rate. The back is modified with a 25% non-industrial apportionment. The second, the upper extremity, it takes a 5% and adjusts it to 7. The combined value equation, 7 and 14 is 21, but the combined value says it's only 20, and that's $15,100. Now the last thing that we want to do is export, save and export this rating. Okay, to save and export, the first thing that we're going to want to do is tap on the export icon. That's the box with the up arrow. We've already completed our rating. I want to save it away. Up pops Save, Restore, Print, Mail, Copy. We're going to tap on Save. And here are some fields that we want to put in. Of course, the applicant's name is what? Albert Anderson. We have the doctor's name is Dr. Doc. How's that? The date of the report has the current date that it is, but actually the report is October 1st that we're rating 2012. How's that? Case number, just happen to have that. That's ADJ2346, whatever. And the notes. We can put whatever we want in here. This is our rating. I don't know. Okay. Now this is important. Now we have an icon at the top that is a floppy disk. That's pretty old school, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? We're going to tap on the floppy disk to save it away. Now we've saved that away, and I'm going to hit the whisk broom for the first time in this hypothetical. In the upper left-hand side, I tap that. It gives me a warning. Are you sure you want to remove it? Because I'm going to remove everything. Well, I saved it away. If the program works, I'll be okay. I won't have to duplicate my efforts. I'm going to hit OK. Everything's cleared out. It's back to having nothing. I'm going to restore now. And look at, there it is, Albert Anderson. And there's our rating. Now, I can either print it, if I had a wireless printer, or, and I want to show you this, I can mail it. I tap on mailing, it brings everything up. I tap on the icon on the upper right-hand side. And by the way, anytime you see an X with a circle around it, if you tap on that, it'll take you back. That's just an escape icon. So I'm going to tap on the mail, the envelope, and watch what happens. Here is my email, completely formatted, with a PDF of my rating. This is your complete rating, and I can put whoever I want in here. Now, because I'm doing this on my iPhone, I'm going to send it to my ranch address. And it's not going to work because I turned off my... But what I wanted to show you is, as I put this in, it's not going to come up, ladies and... Oh, yes, it did. It actually came up with options for Lassen Ranch off my... So if you have your phone program, it'll automatically do that. I'm going to cancel out of that, but I could have just as easily sent it. I'm going to delete my draft, and I'm back to my main menu. Okay, those are essentially all the features. Oh, let me show you something else. If I hit the scratch pad, and let's say I wanted to forget about the upper extremity, all I do is tap on the arrow, and it says delete, and it's gone. Another thing is, if you go into Restore, and you want to get rid of that, if you take your finger and put it under the OK and swipe it from left to right, what happens is a delete button comes up. And all I did was hit it on the right and swipe it to the left. I'm going to delete that, and now that rating's gone as well, so I can remove the rating from my device. Okay, that concludes this video presentation. If you have any questions or especially comments, I'd love to hear from you. Thank you. Neither this video nor the CompCalc should be construed as creating either an attorney-client relationship nor providing legal advice. The viewers of this video, as well as all users of the CompCalc, are instructed to consult and retain competent legal representation, as well as consult the DEU to confirm all information and calculations provided either in this video or by the CompCalc.